I think it hurts a lot. And Skip, the one thing I've been crystal clear on is because of KD's unpredictability, teams were going to be unwilling to blow up their young roster. Here it is on June 30th. He requested a trade. Here we are on August 22nd. He said, nah, I'm good. We'll make it work. So let me get this straight, Skip. On June 30th, you demand a trade. Then about a little over a month later, you demand that the head coach and the general manager get fired. Or that was one of the conditions that you were willing to state. And now here we are a week after you said either them or me, you're like, okay, let's make it work. And it was that unpredictability. Let's just say for the sake of argument, and we're doing this for the sake of argument, Skip, they trade Jason Tatum. They trade a Jaylen Brown, the Boston Celtics dude, to Brooklyn Nets for Kevin Durant. And he changes his mind after 1 year. Now what? Or you go to Sacramento and you get a Sabonis, or you get a De'Aaron Fox, or you go to any team and you get their one or two, first and second best player. And then after a year, Kevin Durant is unhappy. Kevin Durant is unpredictable because, as I said it before, he was in Golden State, winning championship after championship, finals MVP after finals MVP, and he wasn't happy. If he wasn't happy with winning, where in the hell else can he go and be happy? So guess what? He treks down to Brooklyn on a team that he helped assemble, the head coach, and when it didn't go the way he thought it would, he was willing to bail. This is a horrible look for him, Skip. Although it did not, it would have been a worse look had he been able to follow through and get traded. It would have been an all-time worse look, but this is a bad look because it tells you about Kevin Durant when things don't go his way or he's not winning to the clip that he thinks he's looking to make a move. And so, Skip, on my scale, this was a 9 for me. This is a bad look. And he's gonna have to wear this one. Now, he can get on there, I don't think we're going to talk about it, and go back and forth with Pat Bev and go back and forth with this one. But it makes him look bad. It makes him look unhappy. It makes him look unpredictable. It makes him look uncertain. Because as Windhorst is reporting, they didn't even know why he wanted to be traded. Hell, Kevin Durant didn't know why he wanted to be traded. He woke up one morning and says, I want out. And then he woke up a month and a half, almost 2 months later, says, nah, I'm good. We can make it work. So for me, Skip, this is an all-time bad move. For Kevin Durant, bro, you got to find peace, man. I don't know what's going on with you in your life, but you got to find peace, bro.
Okay, first of all, to your final point, it was crystal clear to me. It was as clear as broken glass why Kevin Durant demanded a trade, because he had fallen completely apart with his lifelong best friend, Kyrie Irving. He thought that Kyrie had betrayed him last year, which Kyrie did betray him last year, sold out that team, destroyed the psyche of that team, and Kevin just said, get me out from under Kyrie Irving, who had opted back in for his $36.7 million for 1 year to stay with the Brooklyn Nets. So that's obvious to me. The rest of this is murky to me because I'm going to disqualify myself up front, Mr. Sharpe. I still love Kevin Durant as a player. You know I do. I still believe he's the best player on the planet. He put up best player on the planet numbers during the regular season last year in spite of Kyrie Irving, in spite of James Harden quitting his way out of Brooklyn to get to Philadelphia, in spite of Ben Simmons coming to Brooklyn and not being capable of playing either physically or psychologically. In spite of all that, he showed me once again he was the best player on the planet, and I realized he came up ridiculously, absurdly, indefensibly small in those 4 games against Boston. I did not try to defend it 1 ounce, but it was a half-hearted performance by Kevin. His heart was not in it. I don't think anybody's heart was in it. What's that?
Well, you should, hold on. Knowing the Skip Bayless that I've known, that I've watched all these years, that I've been a partner of for the last 6 years, you crush guys for lack-hearted effort. You crush guys for half-hearted effort, for bull-jive performances. And now you're going to give him a pass because of Kyrie? Kyrie, that don't have anything to do with your play. That's what you can control. There are things I control what I can control. My effort, my play. Kevin Durant can control that. He can't control how Kyrie behaved. So no, I'm not going to let you do that. I need you to give that energy like you would give anybody else. If Aaron Rodgers gave a half-hearted effort, if LeBron James gave a half-hearted effort, if any other quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, gave a half-hearted effort, I need you to give that energy to Kevin Durant to let me know that Skip Bayless is as objective as I know he to be.
I did not give Kevin Durant a pass for that performance because I called him repeatedly on this show for 4 straight mornings after 4 straight sorry performances. I called him Kevin Durant because he could not. But I did give him a valid excuse. Kyrie Irving, even you said the Brooklyn Nets are tired of his bull jive. You better believe they were tired of it. I think they wanted him gone for a while, but they had no choice because he had the option to opt back in, and he took said option. And all of a sudden, you're upset, you're bitter because he's no longer a possibility for your Lakers. And now if I can go one deeper, go ahead.
I want to ask you one thing, Skip. Let's just say for the sake of argument, everything you just said, Kevin Durant gave you those kind of performances because he was tired of that bull jive. What if Tom Brady had given you those performances because he was tired of AB bull jive? What would you have said if Tom Brady give you those? I'm just sick of AB. AB got the fake vaccine card. AB not doing what he's supposed to. He giving half-hearted effort. So I need to match Antonio Brown's half-hearted effort by giving a half-hearted effort on my own. Well, what would you have said?
You just hit me with a possibility, a scenario that is completely impossible. It's never going to happen because you know and I know Tom Brady doesn't ever react like that. He's the greatest winner we've ever seen.
Because the greats control what they can control. I can't control his behavior. I can't control his practice habit. I can't control whether he was late or early to meetings or not. I can just control my play. So what I do, I control what I control. Kevin Durant can't worry about another man. All he can do is control his play. And you're giving him a pass or you're giving him a valid excuse or a reason for why he did not play well. And no, that's what about sports. Sports, no, you do or you don't. You did or you didn't. Kevin Durant did not. And I don't need excuses for why he did not.
Okay. I, in the past, have not given Kevin Durant valid excuses for his behavior, which has often been so self-destructive. He has brought so much of the negativity upon himself because this is a man who is the thinnest skinned superstar I've ever closely observed. This is a man who created multiple burner accounts so that he could secretly or anonymously fire back at nobodies on social media. What? Kevin Durant? You're better than that. Yeah. So I can't defend that. I never tried to defend that. Much of this Kevin has brought on himself. But what has happened here of late, and back to Jen's question about scale of 1 to 10, how much more can I condemn Kevin Durant? How much more did this damage his legacy? I don't think it damaged his legacy any more than it ever was damaged because it was already pretty damaged. So I'm going to give this on a scale 1 to 10 about a 4. But again, am I not objective? Maybe not. But deeper level, deeper psychological level. What's operating here is the billions of blind witnesses are out in force. They're the ones who are saying, see, we told you so. He's not as good as LeBron James. Everything that comes from you, everything that emanates from the psyche of Shannon Sharpe is based on me saying that Kevin Durant is better than LeBron James. And now you're saying, see, we told you so. He's not better than LeBron because LeBron never would have done this or this or this or demanded or all these. It wouldn't have said it's them or me. So in the end, this boils down to LeBron versus KD, and KD is taking, I think, an unfair beating for what just happened in Brooklyn.
Well, Skip, honestly, I was not even thinking about LeBron, and I get it. I know a lot of people are upset. People did not get upset that Kevin Durant, being a free agent in OKC, left, and he left OKC. They were upset that Kevin Durant went and joined a 73-9 team the team that he had down 3-1 kicked him out of the playoffs. They're upset that he went and joined them. They viewed it as the all-time weakest move in sports history. So that's what that dinged him. But this, a team that you helped put together, basically every player on the team with the exception of Kyrie, because you guys were a package deal, you embraced, you signed off on, you okayed it, you co-signed it. It was like Sean Marks signed it, and then like, KD, what do you think? He checks it off. He checks off this one. He checks off that one. You checked up on the head coach. I already knew what Kyrie thought of Steve Nash. Hell, he told you a couple of days after he got hired. We don't really need a coach. I might coach one day. KD might coach. Any of us might coach. So I already knew how Kyrie felt about Steve Nash. But for me, Kevin Durant, having worked with Steve Nash, having given him his blessing towards Sean Marks to hire him, this is where he's taking the criticism. It's because when the kitchen that he helped build, he didn't fireproof it. So now all of a sudden it got extremely hot in the kitchen. And Kevin Durant was looking for a back door to escape the fire. Instead of staying in there and says, look here, I built this, I helped build this, let me help put this fire out, let me get this thing corrected. Now, ultimately, he stayed, but I think that had more to do with the other teams than Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant thought they was just going, everybody just going back, because you heard the great Jerry West, you do whatever you can to get a KD. I don't think everybody was doing what they could to get a KD for the very reason. 2 months after he demanded the trade, a month after he said it's either them or me, the man says, I'll go back. I blow up my young roster. I got KD for 3 years, 4 years, and then 1 year in or 2 years in, KD wants out. How do I recoup what I gave up to get him? You can't.
Okay, I'm going to fire back one last time at a narrative that I headed off at the pass from day one. I first guessed this. I said that Joe Tsai, the owner of the Brooklyn Nets, is going to take a stand against Kevin Durant. He's going to call Kevin's bluff and say, Kevin, you entered into an agreement with me. You signed on the dotted line a contract that does not kick in until opening night of this coming NBA season. 4 years more that you owe me, and I'm going to hold you to that contract. So the narrative I despise that is being pushed by a lot of media people that looked foolish because Kevin did stay when so many predicted and projected that he was going here and he was going here and here and here. Who knows what the offers were? Those go unreported because nobody has a party line with Joe Tsai or Sean Marks about the offers that got made. I will bet you my life that some blockbuster deals were on the table for Kevin Durant that you don't know about. So you, like a lot of other media people, have leaped to a conclusion. Well, nobody was offering very much because nobody really wanted Kevin Durant that badly. Baloney! He's it. He is the nuclear weapon. He would have changed somebody's life. Whatever you have, you offer for Kevin Durant.
He ain't changed Brooklyn's life. So why didn't he change? Hold on. But you said, okay,
what are you
Shannon,
talking about?
And a lot of, hold on, just a second. You're saying, Shannon, you and other media members are leaping to the conclusion that no one offered a blockbuster deal for Kevin Durant.
You are.
You're leaping to the conclusion that they are. So why do you get the leap and nobody else does?
Joe Tsai said, I told you from the start, I predicted this. He's going to say, I don't care what anybody offers. I'm going to keep Kevin Durant, whether he likes it or not, and he will come to like it. And I believe Kevin will come to like it.
Okay, well, say that, but Skip, you can't say because it didn't get reported that they did. If I can't say they didn't offer, you can't say because Joe Tsai said I'm going to decide to keep him that he did. It's like we're both leaping to conclusion, and want your conclusion to be correct. Okay,
I will agree to disagree on that point, but I won't let you get away with this one. You say people condemned Kevin Durant for that weak-ass move, that all-time weak move of leaving Russell Westbrook high and dry in Oklahoma City. Who wouldn't leave Russell Westbrook high and dry?
No, Skip. I didn't say they got upset because he left Russ. They understood that he left Russ. I'm saying that he left Russ, is that where he landed when he left Russ.
Okay.
He went to Golden State.
Okay.
They had the two-time MVP. They won 73 games.
Okay. Nobody understood at that moment why he left Russ, except maybe this guy, because I was the first one to report immediately. He left Russ because he decided he could never win a championship with Russell Westbrook as his primary decision maker. So then he goes to Golden State, and what was happening was Steph had all-time epic failed in games 5, 6, and 7 of the 2016 finals against your Cleveland Cavaliers. Your man LeBron was gifted a ring by Steph Curry, who epically failed to the point that then he flew completely across country, leading the contingent to recruit Kevin Durant to come save his legacy. Kevin did that. He was MVP in back-to-back finals. He saved Steph's legacy, and he wrecked LeBron James' legacy because LeBron was about to be 6-4 in the finals, and instead he's 4-6, thanks to Kevin Durant making the decision, the weak-ass move, to go to Golden State to save Steph's legacy. There's no way Steph and company would have beaten LeBron in the next two NBA Finals without Kevin Durant.
I agree.
Okay,
Skip,
so he goes there. He did that. He was the MVP of back-to-back finals. He took over games 3 back-to-back years in LeBron's house in Cleveland, Ohio, and he did that. And then he said, I'm done with that. I'm going to go join my best friend Kyrie in Brooklyn. And you give him no credit for what he did in the playoffs a year ago against Milwaukee with very little Kyrie, who played 4 out of the 7 games, and almost no James Harden, who averaged 11 points a game in the 4 games that he did play in that playoff round against the eventual champion Milwaukee Bucks. Kevin Durant averaged 35 and 11 in those games. He went for 49 in Game 5. He went for 48 in Game 7. They were virtuosos. They were masterpieces. He almost by himself beat the team on its way to winning the championship. I believe that Kevin would have gone solo and won the championship, except for that one shot at the end of regulation, the toenail on the line shot that was a 2 instead of a 3. If that shot is a 3, we're having a totally different conversation, because I think Kevin has solo led the Brooklyn Nets to a championship, not this past year, but the year before. So, again, as a player, how does that hurt his legacy? I don't know. I think it's enhanced.
But what I found out that you do is that when a player that you support, when he comes up small, you go back to a moment within that game in which he played well. It's like Tom Brady. When he threw for 505 yards, you don't mention that he lost. You say, but he threw the Hail Mary that hit Gronk in the hands. You see what you did? You take a moment within a game in which someone lost. You never do that for LeBron. You don't do that for Luka. You don't do that for Steph Curry.
What?
You said Steph Curry came, hold on. You said Steph Curry came up small in the NBA Finals. Did he come up smaller in the NBA Finals than Kevin Durant did in the first round against Boston?
No, but that's a whole different situation, because Kyrie had quit on the team during the year. That team was dead in the water when it entered the playoff series. At least they made the playoffs thanks to Kevin Durant, as opposed to LeBron James missing the play-in tournament with the Lakers.
If Kevin Durant could have done it, they would have. Remember, they sent Kyrie home. Kevin Durant was okay with them sending Kyrie home.
Yes, he was.
He was also okay. He was also okay with them welcoming Kyrie back.
I'm not
because
sure about
they
that.
had started to slide. Don't do that, Skip.
Yeah.
Don't do that. No. I'm not gonna let you do that. I'm not gonna let you do that. But I got some more for you. We got another topic coming. I got something for you in that topic.
Okay, well, I'm going to leave this topic with the fact that, as you mentioned, that Kevin did go back and forth with Patrick Beverley on Twitter. I'm still not sure what that beef was all about. But in the end,
I don't even know either.
Kevin tweeted a hashtag blame KD. It seems like everybody blames KD for everything that happens in the NBA. So let's blame him again. Way to go. Congratulations, blind witnesses.
I can't believe the guy that said there's so much bull jive going around against LeBron James. The whole offseason has been dominated by Kevin Durant in his bull jive. My grandpa used to always say, boy, be careful. You'll become the very thing you despise the most in a person. Think about it. As we go to break, Skip, you think about that. If you're not careful, you'll become the very thing you despise the most in a person.
Well, I guess that means you've become Kevin Durant.
here with.
Shannon dropping knowledge this morning. I love that. All right, guys, we got to leave this one here because we have got to get to our next segment.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.